don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I made 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Rams and the Green Bay Packers. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Operating from the gun, Fields. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Rodgers. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
58.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
58. Zone.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down. And his kick here is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today, Frank.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On 1st and 10, Fields. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A gain of 32 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Zuerlein's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They got 29 yards that time.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game.
319! 319!
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now they'll run it on the toss. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Rodgers again now. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw here's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And again, it's Rodgers. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Fields. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's pulled in at the 32. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of.
And he fires one that's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
That one good for 15 and a first. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st down, Fields. Flushed out right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Now a handoff for Gurley. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line. Blue line.
Throwing on 1st down. Fields. Blitz coming and down he goes. And before the 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the gun, Fields. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun, Fields. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
Oh, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing after the interception. Fields. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. To throw again. Fields. It's caught left side by Cooks. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. On now is the big leg of Greg Zuerlein. He has hit from as far as 61 away in his career. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
The final shot before break. Fields trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. We have hit halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now the Packers get set to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a 2nd half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Trying to get it to Woods.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 27. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Completes it to Moncrief, left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Hey. No. 319. Excellent.
Rodgers now on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
319. Over. Hey, check 26. 319.
Now a play fake. Rodgers steps away to his left. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
319.
On play action, Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field, and this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Dante Moncrief, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point safely through, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now here's Johnson. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. He sets to fire deep. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 46. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Jumbo! 319.
On play action. Now Rodgers being chased out left. And that's going to be incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's going to go up top for the end. And this is going to be intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now, they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board. And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation. So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them. And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. To throw on 3rd down. Fields. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Johnny Hekker now as he's on to punt for L.A. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught. You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coached some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course. Going deep for Moncrief. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back. Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you? Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. On 3rd down, it's Lindsey. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down. And they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down. But guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Back to the air on 2nd down. Fields. He gets it left side of Johnson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Fields. Flush to his right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, Fields. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Fields. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Gerald Everett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now a handoff looking right. And some room to maneuver. And shoving his way inside the 35. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
And that's a good run, and I know he went out of bounds, so we can nitpick a little bit here and get on him and say, hey, make sure you stay in bounds, keep the clock running. But this stage of the game, Brandon, that's not really uppermost in his mind. He just wants to take care of the football and gain yardage.
Yeah, and they have a little bit of comfort there with it not just being a one-score game, so not too nitpicky. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Aaron Darnold in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Fields. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On 1st and 10, Fields. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Carl Lawson in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Operating from the gun, Fields. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. From the gun, Fields. He's got his man on the crossing route. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Now he'll let it, and this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Throwing on 1st down. Fields. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Kevin King with a pick. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
Hey, check 26.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Hey, check 26.
Rodgers to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Green Bay, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for L.A., it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.